This time Stark, and in this video we are looking at Ho Chi Minh and North Vietnam. So first of all we need to look at the consolidation of socialism within North Vietnam. As in 1956, the decision not to hold national election was taken in North Vietnam. Now instead they would try to consolidate communism. And the main objective of this would be to create strong communist control in North Vietnam before the hopeful reunification of Vietnam. Now, a key component of the Vietnam Workers' Party, which was headed by Ho Chi Minh, was land reform. And this consisted of taking privately owned land and redistributing this land among the rural farming population. And this was taken from the advice of China. But as a result, landlords and landowners were denounced and thousands were executed and placed into labour camps. Now, in August 1956, Ho Chi Minh was forced to apologise for the disastrous land reform, which had led to 1 million refugees fleeing to South Vietnam. Now, on the other hand, Ho Chi Minh's agricultural reforms had been of great success, as agricultural production had increased and full-scale industrialisation was now fully underway. Now, at the end of 1958, the decision was taken at the 15th plenum to attempt to reunify Vietnam. And seeing as communist control had been established by 1959, Ho Chi Minh was able to consider the route to a united Vietnam. And the aim was to use military force to overthrow the Diem regime in the south, as well as creating political instability in Diem's regime. Now essentially they were declaring war on the south. This meant that the north started to support any anti-Diem regimes in the south, as well as creating the National Liberation Front in South Vietnam. So in 1960, the National Liberation Front were created to free South Vietnam from US imperialism and to create a united Vietnam. And the National Liberation Front, also known as the NLF, consisted of many different groups with separate focuses. Some people weren't communist and just opposed the leadership of Diem, and this is because Diem had ignored the majority of the population and had replaced local councils with Catholic government-appointed officials, which was too similar to that of the former French colonial regime. But we'll learn more about Diem's regime in the next video. But there was also the nationalists who had the determination of reuniting Vietnam, and this is something that Diem's regime was preventing. The leader of the NLF was Hu Tho. However, the real leadership was ultimately with Ho Chi Minh. However, it was presented as a resistance movement in the south, and this is so that it didn't breach the Geneva Conference, which stated that the north could not place their troops into South Vietnam. Now, it did mean that communists in North Vietnam could easily infiltrate groups in the south, and the National Liberation Front were able to attract many people from intellectuals to the rural working class. And this is because the primary focus of the political manifesto was based around nationalistic themes rather than ideological goals. Now, at the same time, the North also established the Ho Chi Minh Trail as a support network for the NLF. So that is the situation in North Vietnam, which is eventually leading to the Vietnam War. But for now, see you soon. Bye.